we'll make it all right.
Last week, we were together as a region in Indianapolis for our end of the year retreat that we call the Spring Well. And together, on the last day, we created a piece of artwork that hangs in our regional office now. It's right behind me. It's an outline of our two states with a nail in the location where we have every area. So there's 54 different nails to represent the 54 areas of Young Life across Indiana and Kentucky that the Raceway region represents. Now those nails are the stability of the artwork, but the beauty of the artwork was the piece that everybody lended towards. What we did was every staff person took a piece of thread and tied it around the nail where they were from, and they started to weave it throughout the region to relationships they had or people they were connected to. And as we did that, as we started to weave these webs, what we saw was this beautiful kind of collective mosaic of who we are as a region. And I think this artwork represents Young Life at its finest. See, the stability of Young Life happens when we're deeply focused in our local community. But beauty comes about when we start to be interconnected with one another relationally. And we've talked about this for a while as our region. How do we live into a 1 Corinthians 12 type body? How can we rejoice with those who are rejoicing and mourn with those who are mourning? Now, collectively within Young Life, that doesn't happen. There's not a lot of opportunities for that to happen in a region our size. We're spread out over 2 states. There's 110 staff. There's 54 different areas. How do we pull together as one? There's not many opportunities, but there is one that's coming up that I want to ask you all to consider. The reality is, to have Young Life in any community, it requires funding. But the other reality is that within our 54 different communities that do have Young Life, the access to funding within a community is not equally proportionate across every single area. And that's where the Together Tithe comes in. And I want to talk to you a little bit about that. We are entering into budget season. And as a part of your budget, you will see a line item that says the Together Tithe. The Together Tithe is both a line item in your budget and a principle. The principle behind the Together Tithe is it is a way for areas to set aside money towards other communities that might be less financially resourced. Now, the specific line item of the Together Tithe, it gets split 50-50 between National Young Life and their efforts to help hard-to-fund communities, and then our regional efforts as well. And that may be that that's what your area wants to do. They want to help both nationally and regionally. If your desire as an area director and as a committee chair is to help within the region, so within Indiana and Kentucky, we're going to use line 9190, which is, it says transfers in and out. And that line is specifically for our region. And so line 9190 will be a way for your area to operate within the principle of the Together Tithe. So that'll be a way for your area to set aside funds specifically for under-resourced communities within Indiana and Kentucky. Okay, so again, the two delineations there. Together Tithe gets 50-50 split between national and regional. 9190, which is transfers in and out, goes specifically to our region, to Indiana and Kentucky. And so that's the kind of functionality of how the Together Tithe works. And what you'll do is, if this is something that you all would like to consider or like to participate in, you'll just put whatever the monthly transfer that you desire in there. And then the mechanisms that are within the budget will automatically do that. Now, this is an ask, it's not a mandate. Most of the staff will tell you it's not how I lead. I'm not a heavy-handed person, and maybe to the chagrin of some. But I really do think the beauty of this comes in self-selecting in. It's when an area director and a committee chair say, no, we're going to pull together with the region to see Young Life exist in communities that have less access to funding. And so what I'd like to ask you, committee chairs and area directors, is I genuinely want you to pray about this. Say, all right, Lord, what would you have us do? For whatever is right for your area, prayerfully consider it, and then reflect that in your budget as you fill that out. Know that we'll continue to pull together as a region in a lot of different ways. The Together Tithe is one of those rare moments where we could go, you know what, I think this is actually something that we all could stack hands on and see the value and the beauty in it. Thank you for considering it. Thank you for doing your budgets and filling them out on time. I know it's a little bit of a hassle, but I really appreciate your help in this. Thanks, everyone.